Hello, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Lindsay and this is the Momlogs. In last week's video, I had mentioned that I wanted to take some of my grocery haul meals and record me making them just so you can see how I go about doing that and what I make as a busy stay-at-home mom for me, my husband, and my two little boys who are 3 and 5. So I filmed 4 meals from that grocery haul and I did it kind of like vlog style. So you're gonna see some real life mom moments in this video, and I just hope that it gives you some great ideas for things to make for you and your family. Let's get into it. Tonight we are doing the skinniest dish, meatloaf. This is her website, and here's the recipe. I already have the onions and red peppers all chopped up. I'm just going to put them into this pan, and then you also add garlic to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. All right, so these are nice and tender, and I'm gonna add in the garlic, and she says to do that for about 30 seconds. So she has in her recipe that you do a glaze with ketchup and red wine vinegar. So that is what I'm gonna work on now. All right, so for the glaze, we're gonna do ketchup. She says reduced sugar ketchup, but I don't have any, and I don't really like to give my kids artificial sweeteners, and they're gonna be eating this too, so. Regular it is, and then a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. And then I just stir that up. And then I'm just gonna set this to the side. And it looks like we are ready to combine all of our meatloaf ingredients. So I've got my meat in here, and here is what comes next. A cup of oats, these are just regular rolled oats. Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons. 1, 2, the cooked peppers, onions, and garlic. 1 teaspoon of salt. And a half teaspoon of black pepper. All right, and then it calls for 2 beaten eggs, but I've just got a flax egg here. 2 flax eggs, which is just ground flaxseed and water. And then you mix it. This is gonna go into the oven for 1 hour. So for a side, I'm gonna just do a steamed bag of broccoli, and I'm going to do some air fried russet potatoes. I'm just gonna peel these, cube them up, and throw them in my air fryer with probably just some salt and, no, you know what? I'm probably just gonna do some garlic powder because I put salt in the meatloaf, and that will be our sides. Here's what the potatoes look like after what was that, 15 minutes? I'm gonna put them in for 5 more minutes at the same temp, just to get them browned up a little bit. And then here's what the meatloaf is looking like. Sorry the lighting is so yellow. It's just my over the stove microwave light. I always temp it because if you've given yourself food poisoning before from undercooked poultry, yeah. So it is almost to 200 degrees, so that's great. Hopefully it's not overdone. But here's how it looks. The house smells really good. It is Sunday and I'm getting ready to make dinner. I have some chicken here. I've got my rice cooker out. So we're gonna do grilled chicken and I'm gonna season it. First I'll spray it with olive oil and then I'm gonna season it with this everything but the bagel seasoning from Costco. And the rice I've made here on my channel before, but I'll show you how I do that too. All right, I've got a cup of rice here and I'm just gonna give it a rinse. And this not only cleans your rice, but it also like makes it so that once it's cooked, it's not like so sticky and gummy tasting. I've got 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of this low sodium chicken broth. And then I have some ground thyme. I never measure this. Just kind of sprinkle some in there. And then I'm just gonna do a couple pinches of salt. And then I'll turn this on. You could definitely do this on the stovetop. The rice cooker is just really convenient. I believe that you can count bites for this because it has sesame seeds in it, but to be honest, I don't even bother. I know that like 20 sesame seeds isn't why I am on a weight loss journey. So this is gonna go on the grill. My husband's gonna take care of that for me, and then I'm just gonna do microwave broccoli. Slight change in plans. We are gonna do corn instead of broccoli, but everything else stayed the same. So here's how the chicken turned out. And the rice, this is a 1/2 cup, and the corn. All right, it is Monday morning and I'm gonna go ahead and get that Skinny-ish Dish Crockpot marinara in to the crock pot so that we can do pizza with it for dinner, the 2-ingredient dough pizza. Let me show you what goes into it and then I'll tell you what I'm gonna leave out of it. All right, for the tomato base, I've got 3 28-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes. And then I have 2 14.5-ounce cans of fire roasted diced tomatoes, 1 large onion chopped up. I've got salt. It calls for 8 cloves of garlic, but I just did like 1.5 tablespoons. I have 2 tablespoons of basil and 2 tablespoons of oregano. It also calls for pepper and like red pepper flakes, but I'm gonna leave that out because I don't want it to be too spicy for the kids because we're all gonna eat the same sauce on our pizza. So I'm gonna get this all into the crock pot and turn it on low until dinner time. Time to put the pizzas together. The sauce is done. I actually have my pizza crust cooked already. I have found that I like to make and bake my crust before I put the toppings on. So I will roll out each crust and then put it in the oven, bake them like 10 to 12 minutes at 400 degrees, and then pull the crust back out, put the toppings on, and then put them back in the oven until the cheese is melted. I don't know if it's my oven or what, but I have just found that the middle of my crust is not cooked if I bake it all at one time. And I think it's probably my oven because in our old oven at our other house, I never had a problem. So here's what I've got going on. I have my mozzarella cheese shredded up. I have a little bit of pre-shredded that I need to use up, so I'll use that first. And then this, and then I'm gonna use that sauce that I made in the crock pot. And I actually have some, I'm gonna use fat-free, the Kraft fat-free mozzarella. I know it isn't everyone's favorite, but it's just, like my preference for the amount of bites that I get per day. So I'm gonna go ahead and top these and then I'll pop them back in the oven for maybe like 6 minutes at 400 and we will eat. I think I'm gonna make a side salad too. We are ready to make dinner. It is Friday night, and tonight we're gonna be doing buffalo chicken in the air fryer. I had originally planned to do boneless wings, but in all honesty, this is just gonna be easier. So I'm gonna do the buffalo chicken, and I'm gonna do butternut squash. And I am going to cut this up on camera in case you're intimidated by it or anything like that. I really like doing this in the air fryer because it almost tastes like French fries, and we all eat it. My kids will even eat it with some ketchup. So I will show you how I cut that up, and then how I make the chicken. My air fryer is large, but it's not large enough to do both the chicken and the butternut squash together. So I'm gonna do the squash first, and then I'm gonna just keep it warm while I cook the chicken. So I'll show you how to cut up the squash now. I don't really know if this is the right way to do it. I'm not like a culinary expert or anything, but this is just the way that has always worked for me. So you'll just need a really sharp knife, and then I have a vegetable peeler. So I like to pound out my chicken just so that it cooks nice and even, and I just use like one of these. I cover up the chicken with plastic wrap, and then I use this rough side, and I pound it out so it's nice and even. I just didn't want to show that on camera in case it grossed anyone out. And then I am gonna coat each chicken breast with 1 tablespoon of light mayo. This is just the Great Value brand. Just coat it with 1 tablespoon. Of that. And then to give the chicken a nice crunch, like it's breaded, I'm going to use this gluten-free panko breadcrumbs, and I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of it. It doesn't need to be panko, it doesn't need to be gluten-free. This is just what I have. And I'm just gonna sprinkle 2 tablespoons over. The butternut squash is done, and I am just going to put 1 tablespoon of this Great Value mild wing sauce on each piece of chicken. So I'm just gonna drizzle this over. All right, and this is ready to go into the air fryer. All right, my chicken has about 5 more minutes left, so I'm gonna take some Kraft fat-free cheddar cheese, a 1/4 cup for each chicken breast, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it over the top, and then it will be melted. I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of Bolthouse Ranch because I know that my kids aren't gonna want the spicy buffalo sauce that I'm putting on our chicken for tonight. I'm treating them to a chicken nugget night, but they're also going to have the butternut squash. Just in case you were curious with what I am giving my kids. Ben likes his chicken nuggets with honey and Jack likes honey mustard. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you make any of these delicious meals, don't forget to tag me on Instagram. And if you want to see more from me in the future, click that subscribe button down below and give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I will see you next time. Bye.